What year was the deal with Atlantic? 2003, right?
2003, right. Yep.
Who was signed at the time that you signed to Atlantic?
Good question. So on the East Coast, I believe it was James Lopez I think James was A&R because James was cool. Shout out to James Lopez from Atlantic. James had, I think, well, whoever the fuck it was on the East Coast had Lupe. Shout out to my brother Lupe. Lupe was a friend right from the beginning. Little brother, shout out to Tay and Pooh. And Saigon. Big up to Saigon too. All those guys are great guys. They were all on like the other division of Atlantic. And my A&R, Mike Karen, his repertoire, his artists under him were Trick Daddy, Trina, Trey Songz, T.I., Nappy Roots, and fuck, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. But that was his whole shit.
Why'd they put you with him?
He was the one who signed me. He was out in LA. He's just the guy who signed me. Mike is huge, man. Mike is very, very big. His history is crazy. You know, sometimes we didn't get along. Sometimes we butted heads, and but Mike taught me a lot, and Mike was cool for the most part. And there were issues that I had with Atlantic and the label, and you know, maybe him too. And there were certain things that I don't like that he did, but it was a awesome experience. It was a cool experience.
App, you wrote a diss track to him called "Fuck You."
That wasn't just to him. That was to the whole label, the whole label experience, and it was also to let my fans know what it was. Right. You know, but it was that too. And the funny part is when I sent it to him, he thought it was fucking great and wanted that to get a bigger, you know. The thing that he ever got the most mad about was I was in an issue of Double XL. I think it had Shine on the cover. And it was a double cover. One had Shine. I have it somewhere here. And I had talked about my label situation, and it was a pretty dope thing. And I was angry about the situation, but the title was The Mad Rapper. They wrote that in the title, and because it was meant to be a literal sense that I was just mad. It wasn't like I was just hating, you know, like the Mad Rapper skit. I was just mad about the situation because I felt stuck and I wasn't willing to compromise to do the shit they wanted me to do. But Mike was upset about that title because he felt like it made it look like I was upset at them, and he didn't want that out there, you know, visibly. So,
but at that time though, like, you know, you were saying that the A&R that you get that's in charge of your project, right? It can really change like your whole experience with a label.
Absolutely.
And they were wanting you to make like what, more commercial sounding records and shit like that?
Correct. They wanted me to make hits, which, you know, I don't blame them for, but I wanted hits on an organic level. I wanted to do hip hop, and that's what I told Mike from the very beginning. And Mike wanted me to make goofy fly-by-night shit. Like, you know, I've told this story. The Asher Roth, I Love College, I co-produced that with Mike. That was my record. We sampled Weezer, Say It Ain't So. It wasn't called I Love College. It had nothing to do with college. It was just the beat. And I put that break beat on there. I put the MC Light 10% Diss break beat on that shit because originally it had big rock drums on it. Mike had this production team called the Tailgaters. In the session, when he pulled it up, it had big live drums on it. And I was like, this got to sound more hip hop, man. Like, this is so. And when I was looking through his records, because he had a small record collection right off his studio, I was looking through his records and I was looking for like an ultimate break beats or like at least like a record I knew that had drums on it, open drums. And the first thing I came across was MC Light 10% Diss. And I thought for, you know, the tempo it was at, I was like, oh shit, that could work, you know? And I remember wanting to keep in the hot damn, ho, you know, that part. That was me wanting to keep that into because he wanted to like somehow like get parts that didn't have that on there.
But you get a lot of money from that?
No, nothing.
Because a lot of people don't even know you're credited for that, right?
Listen, I didn't even know the fucking thing came out because after I left, after I left Atlantic, because there was no worksheet or anything. I just thought I was working on my album. I don't know if he was trying to front like I didn't do it or didn't do anything to that, but there was no worksheet. There was no anything like that. It was just all of a sudden, a couple years later, I don't remember how many years later, I'm in LA and I fucking hear that song come on the radio and I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? I have the session somewhere. There's like I have multiple spindles of CDs and I have the session for that song here somewhere.
But you never wanted to pursue it like legally or anything?
Too tough I didn't have the energy or
I hear you,
the
bro.
where, to pursue that. Like there was no worksheet, there was no agreement, there was no record of it. It was just, it would have been like my word against him. He's a fucking rich, guy from the record industry.
Right. So the whole thing was like, a lot of times there was like promises that, oh, we like what you're doing, we're gonna put this out, and then it doesn't happen, right? Like even the "Fuck You" song, they said that he said he wanted to press it up and put it out, but it didn't happen.
Right. No, he didn't say he wanted to press it up and put it out. He just thought labels want you to go viral without them and then come in once all the work has been done. That's what major labels want happen. They want you to pop off organically and then they'll come in and, augment that, but they want you to lay the concrete foundation and put the walls up and all that. So they wanted me to just keep going viral. That's why Mike wanted me to keep putting out records. And he was just waiting for me to stumble across a hit.
Got you. And that happens to be the song that he liked the most that you were doing at that time.
He just liked it because it was edgy and it had something to it, It wasn't just like regular boom bap hip hop. It was something that was controversial, something where I was funny that people could sing along to. He liked anything like that, that was kind of like a catchy, simple, stupid thing.
What do you think is like the most important thing that you learned while you were at Atlantic?
I don't know if there's one single thing. I learned that the music industry they just they want money, man. There's no culture in the music industry. And I think here's the most important thing. I'm not going to act like it's some gem for people to use. The most important thing that I learned is that Hollywood lifestyle, the big major label, flying to jets, doing big photo shoots, living that life is not for me. It's not my cup of tea. I don't fuck with it. And I don't care what that looked like monetarily. If I have to just make a regular living and, do music, and if I had to do whatever, I would have rather have done whatever than make fucking $10 million, $50 million a year doing that shit. It wasn't for me, man. It just wasn't. I left. They didn't drop me. They didn't kick me out. I left because I was like, this is not my fucking thing. The Hollywood scene, the red carpets, the parties, all that fuck shit was, God bless anybody who needs that in their life. Good for you. Do whatever you're going to do. Not for me.
What was it about it that you didn't like it? It just felt like fake and forced?
Absolutely. The phoniness, the everybody looking over your shoulder at parties to see if there's somebody more important to talk to, the feigning of interest and the acting like they're your buddy and it's all cool. It's just phony, man. It's like, that's why sometimes I would really like to watch that show. I liked watching that show Entourage because it highlighted a lot of the bullshit and a lot of the phony ass shit. I was like, yeah, this is pretty accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just whack, man. It was just, it was really empty. It was spiritually empty. And I'm not asking for spiritual fulfillment, but for me to be around that, it was just draining. And then the constant demand for that type of schedule, to be doing that shit, it's just, I have no interest.
You seem like a really self-aware guy, right? So like you're really conscious of your emotions or like when you're in certain environments and how you feel. And I can only imagine that with you saying you felt drained, so like being in interactions with people where like this is not real, you know what I'm saying? Like you're taking note of how you feel when you're in this and it doesn't feel good.
Right. Is there a question there?
Yeah, no. So I'm just saying, like, you know, like based off of that, like you're a very direct person. So like
Yeah.
I can't really see you faking it for that long.
I can't. Listen, man. I can't fake the funk about shit. Maybe that's an Achilles heel of mine. I feel like maybe to my own detriment, brutally honest. And you know, sometimes you know, like for the thing is like, you know, I know it's supposed to be cool, like where you're not supposed to respond to haters and talk shit. I don't care, man. I'm gonna do what feels right for me. I'm not gonna abide by some rules that were set up by the industry or anybody else. I do what I think is the right thing and what makes me sleep well at night and you know, makes me feel a certain way that's authentic and genuine to me. And I spent a lot of time posturing and not being self-aware and not being accountable for my own actions. And it's taken me a long time to get on the path where I need to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to say what the truth is, and I need to be totally honest. I don't give a fuck about what anybody feels about that. I'm gonna say how I feel, and I'm not gonna disrespect anybody. I'm not gonna shit on anybody consciously, but I'm gonna be brutally honest.
Got you.